Hello and welcome to today's episode of Current Affairs MCQs. Let's begin with the previous day question. Consider the following statements with respect to Women Reservation Act 2023. 1. The Constitution 106th Amendment Act 2023 reserves one-third of seats for women in Lok Sabha, state assemblies and legislative assembly of the NCT of Delhi. 2. This act added three new articles, that is 330A, 332A, and 334A. 3. The act mandates that one-third of the seats reserved for SCs and STs be allocated to women. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only one, B. Only two, C. All three, and D. None. The correct answer is option C. The Constitution 106th Amendment Act of 2023 reserves one-third of all seats for women in Lok Sabha, state legislative assemblies, and the Legislative Assembly of the National Capital Territory of Delhi, including those reserved for SCs and STs. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The reservation will be provided for a period of 15 years. However, it shall continue till such date as determined by a law made by Parliament. The Women's Reservation Act 2023 added three new articles, 330A, 332A, and 334A. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The proposed articles 330A and 332A seek to introduce women's reservation in the Lok Sabha and state assemblies. Article 334A includes a sunset clause ending this reservation after 15 years. This act mandates that one-third of the seats reserved for SCs and STs be allocated to women. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Moving on to the first question, consider the following statements. 1. It is a coral atoll and the largest island of the Chagos archipelago, located 7 degrees south of the equator. 2. It was leased to the United States and the United Kingdom and later became a military base. 3. It played a significant role in the Gulf War, Iraq, and Afghanistan wars and post 9/11 operations, highlighting the Indo-Pacific strategic importance. Which of the following locations best matches the above description? A. Diego Garcia, B. Maldives, C. Seychelles, and D. Mauritius. The correct answer is option A. Diego Garcia is a coral atoll and the largest island of the Chagos archipelago, located 7 degrees south of the equator. It was leased to the US and UK in 1967 and became a military base in 1986. In 2024, the UK agreed to transfer sovereignty of the Chagos Islands to Mauritius while retaining control of the military base on Diego Garcia under a 99-year lease. This followed the 2019 International Court of Justice ruling supporting Mauritius' sovereignty claims. It played a significant role in the Gulf War, Iraq, and Afghanistan wars and post 9/11 operations, highlighting the Indo-Pacific's strategic importance. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Question 2. Regarding avian influenza, consider the following statements. 1. It is a highly contagious disease caused by avian influenza A viruses that affect both wild and domestic birds. 2. H1N1, a subtype, is listed as a priority disease under the World Health Organization Research and Development Blueprint. Which of the statements given above are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. Both 1 and 2, and D. Neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option C. Bird flu or avian influenza is a highly contagious viral disease that affects both wild and domestic birds. It is caused by avian influenza A viruses with subtypes such as H5N1 and H5N8 being particularly significant. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The first human cases were reported in 1997 in Hong Kong. H5N1 spreads primarily through direct contact with infected live or dead birds or contaminated environments. Example, live bird markets. Rarely, transmission from infected mammals to humans has been observed. H5N1 is listed as a priority disease under the World Health Organization Research and Development Blueprint. Hence, statement 2 is correct. H5N8 primarily affects birds but can occasionally infect humans and other animals. Recently, a casualty was observed in Andhra Pradesh from bird flu virus, marking India's second recorded human fatality from H5N1 since 2021. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Question 3. Consider the following statements regarding olive ridley turtles. 1. They are known for their unique mass nesting behavior called aribara, where thousands of females nest simultaneously on the same beach. 2. Odisha's Gahirmatha Marine Sanctuary is recognized as the world's largest nesting site or rookery for sea turtles. Which of the above statements are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. Both 1 and 2, and D. Neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option C. The olive ridley turtles are the smallest and most abundant of all sea turtles found in the world. These turtles are carnivores and get their name from their olive-colored carapace. They are best known for their unique mass nesting called aribada, where thousands of females come together on the same beach to lay eggs. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Odisha's Gahirmatha Marine Sanctuary is known as the world's largest rookery, a colony of breeding animals of sea turtles. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Protection status: Wildlife Protection Act 1972, Schedule 1. IUCN Red List Vulnerable Sites, Appendix 1. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Question 4. Consider the following statements regarding the term Global South. 1. The Brant line roughly separates the economically developed Global North from the developing Global South along a latitude of approximately 30 degrees north. 2. The Global South broadly comprises countries from Latin America, Asia, Africa, and Oceania. 3. The absence of a UN Security Council mandate does not affect the legitimacy of Global South-led peacekeeping missions. How many of the above statements is correct or are correct? A. Only 1, B. Only 2, C. All 3, and D. None. The correct answer is option B. The Brant line roughly separates the economically developed Global North from the developing Global South along a latitude of approximately 30 degrees north. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Global South denotes regions outside Europe and North America, mostly low income and often politically or culturally marginalized. The Global South broadly comprises countries from Latin America, Asia, Africa, and Oceania. Hence, statement 2 is correct. China and India are the leading proponents of the Global South. Countries from the Global South are among the largest contributors to United Nations peacekeeping missions, lending stability in post-conflict zones. Global South-led peacekeeping missions require a UN Security Council mandate to ensure legal authority and international legitimacy. Its absence can undermine their credibility. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 5. Consider the following statements regarding HALEU or high assay low enriched uranium. 1. HALEU is produced through uranium enrichment and contains between 5% and 20% of the uranium-235 isotope. 2. HALEU can be used in India's existing pressurized heavy water reactors or PHWRs along with thorium. 3. Spent fuel from pressurized heavy water reactors using HALEU thorium can be reprocessed to extract valuable fissile material. How many of these statements above are not correct? A. Only 1, B. Only 2, C. All 3, and D. None. The correct answer is option D. HALEU or the high assay low enriched uranium is not naturally occurring. It is produced through uranium enrichment. HALEU is uranium enriched between 5% and 20% U-235. This approach enables India to start utilizing thorium sooner, making its nuclear power generation more sustainable. Hence, Statement 1 is correct. Recycling spent fuel ensures long term sustainability and optimal fuel usage in India's nuclear sector. India can enhance its nuclear energy program by using a mix of high SA low enriched uranium and thorium in existing 700 MWE pressurized heavy water reactors. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The reprocessed fissile material can be utilized in advanced reactors such as molten salt reactors. Spent fuel from pressurized heavy water reactors using heliothorium can be reprocessed to extract valuable fissile material. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. With reference to Park Bay, consider the following statements. 1. It is a narrow water body located between southern India and northern Sri Lanka. 2. The southern boundary is marked by the Pamban Strait, Rameshwaram Island, and Adams Bridge or the Ram Setu. 3. The northeastern boundary is the Park Strait that connects the Park Bay to the Arabian Sea. How many of the above statements are not correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. And D. None. The correct answer is option A. Park Bay is a narrow water body between southern India and northern Sri Lanka. Hence, statement 1 is correct. It is rich in biodiversity due to monsoon driven nutrient inflow from rivers originating in Sri Lanka. The southern boundary is marked by the Pamban Strait, Rameshwaram Island, and Adams Bridge or Ram Setu. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The northeastern boundary is the Park Strait that connects the Park Bay to the Bay of Bengal. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Question 7. Mitra Shakti, joint military exercise, and Slynex, bilateral naval exercise, are conducted between which of the following pairs of countries? A. India and Maldives. B. India and Sri Lanka. C. India and Bangladesh. And D. India and Myanmar. The correct answer is option B. Mitra Shakti is a joint military exercise conducted annually between the armies of India and Sri Lanka. It focuses on counter-terrorism operations and enhancing interoperability between the two forces. Slynex, Sri Lanka-India naval exercise, is a bilateral naval exercise conducted between the navies of India and Sri Lanka. It aims to strengthen maritime cooperation and interoperability between the two countries. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 8. With reference to the budget of the Government of India, consider the following statements. 1. The annual financial statement is presented under Article 112 of the Constitution. 2. Demands for grants are required to be voted by both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. 3. Receipts budget provides details of revenue receipts, capital receipts, and external assistance. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. And D. None. The correct answer is option B. Under Article 112 of the Constitution, a statement of estimated receipts and expenditure of the Government of India has to be laid before Parliament in respect of every financial year, which runs from 1st April to 31st March. The annual financial statement is presented under Article 112 of the Constitution. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The estimates of expenditure from the consolidated fund included in the budget statements and required to be voted by the Lok Sabha are submitted in the form of demands for grants. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Normally, a separate demand is required to be presented for each of the major services under the control of a ministry or department. Estimates of receipts included in the annual financial statements are further explained and analyzed in the receipts budget. Receipts budget provides details of revenue receipts, capital receipts, and external assistance. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Question 9. Which of the following actions regarding a bill passed by the state legislature can the governor perform under Article 200 of the Indian Constitution? 1. Give assent to the bill. 2. Withhold assent and return the bill for reconsideration. 3. Reserve the bill for the consideration of the President. Select the correct answer using the code given below. A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. And D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option D. Under Article 200 of the Indian Constitution, when a bill passed by the state legislature is presented to the governor has the following powers. Under Article 200 of the Indian Constitution, the governor has the power to give assent to a bill passed by the state legislature. Once the governor gives assent, the bill becomes a law. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The governor also has the power to withhold assent to a bill and return it to the state legislature for reconsideration, along with specific reasons for doing so. If the state legislature repasses the bill, either with or without amendments, the governor is constitutionally bound to give assent to the bill. Hence, statement 2 is correct. In certain situations, the governor may reserve a bill for the consideration of the President of India. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Moving on to question 10. Consider the following statements regarding the Indira Sahni case 1992. 1. The Supreme Court upheld 27% reservation for other backward classes or OBCs in government jobs. 2. The Supreme Court allowed 10% reservation for the economically weaker sections among the higher castes. 3. The judgment laid down that total reservations should not exceed 50% except in extraordinary situations. How many of the above statements are not correct? A. Only 1, B. Only 2, C. All 3, and D. None. The correct answer is option A. Indira Sahni case 1992. The Supreme Court upheld 27% reservation for other backward classes or OBCs in government jobs. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The court upheld the validity of 27% reservation for OBCs as recommended by the Mandal Commission. The Supreme Court has upheld the constitutional validity of the 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act 2019, which provides 10% reservation for the economically weaker sections among the general category individuals in government jobs and educational institutions across India. This is not related to the Indira Sahni case 1992. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. The judgment laid down that total reservations should not exceed 50% except in extraordinary situations. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. And now is the time for today's practice question. With reference to Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, consider the following statements. 1. Vande Mataram, the national song of India, was composed by him and first appeared in the novel Anand Math. 2. Raj Mohan's Wife was the first Indian novel written in English by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. 3. He founded the literary magazine Bangadarshan, which played a key role in fostering Bengali nationalism. Which of the statements given above are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 1 and 3 only. C. 3 only. And D. 1, 2 and 3. Send us your answers in the comment section. Thanks for watching.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe. And do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.